welcome to Starting Up, the only show on Indian television that is home to the startup community. We here, of course, are building up to the Independence Day special. But this week, we've got a special on a new breed of Indian entrepreneurs that are reborn. That and a lot more coming your way over the next half hour. On the show this week, we tracked out entrepreneurs who've done it all and are doing it again. On Super Angels, it's all about the way you look. Thousand looks makes it fit to Harshal Shah.
Having a relatively good algorithm.
On Bootstrap, tips on how to register your startup as a legal entity.
For example, if you
As a nation, you have to agree we do believe in the concept of Punarjanam or rebirth. Well, it turns out that entrepreneurs are no different. In the last 3 years, we've seen a bunch of entrepreneurs taste a fair amount of success and then decided to move on, sell their companies or their stakes, and then start it all from scratch. Well, what are they doing now with their lives? So these y'all decided to research that trend and get success stories.
From movies to sports to politics, as a nation, we've all been fascinated by stories of rebirth and reincarnation. Well, it turns out that the entrepreneurial world isn't very different. There's a new band of entrepreneurs who've sold their companies in the past, and they're now coming back for their second innings, and they're coming back better prepared with much larger goals. Will they still have the hunger, though? Well, I decided to get reborn myself and find out. Three entrepreneurs, Sanjay Bindra, Ajit Nagral and Sunil Pokhale, each from contrasting sectors with one common trait though that brought them all together. Each of them sold their individual stakes in their startups for approximately 100 crore rupees.
actually, we didn't come out with that figure. We came out with a much higher figure.
There was money on the table, and we decided that it was a good time for us to sell.
When I sold my stake to Future Ventures, my payments got delayed.
The entrepreneur's price is never the price which the buyer is willing to pay.
My advice to most people would be that when you are on the verge of closing your deal, make sure your money comes in.
The individual decisions to sell their enterprises might not have been easy. What was tougher, as they found out though, was to sit back at home and take it easy.
When I exited, I didn't want to do any activity at all. But I sat at home for about 3 months, and then I said, no, this is not my cup of tea. And my wife also, it was not her cup of tea either.
I had two choices, go build another company in the US or come back to India and build something from scratch. The latter was quite appealing. I had never worked in India prior to that, so that was a challenge by itself.
I got an opportunity, and I took the opportunity blindly. And I thought, this is nothing, I get a fresh chance to reinvent myself.
Yes, within 6 months, all three of them put their hats back in the ring only to restart their new ventures. Sanjay Bindra, the founder of women's ethnic wear retail brand Biba, sold his stake to the Future Group, and almost immediately he was up and running again. His new venture, 7 East, a more premium offering in the women's ethnic wear space, one which in many ways took his previous creation head on.
India is moving more into lifestyle than value. So I see a lot of opportunity in the lifestyle business, and that's what I want to do. So 7 East is going to be very lifestyle. I feel Bollywood and movies is the content to what ethnic fashion is about.
Using Bollywood films to promote its clothing line is 7 East's unique idea. It is set at path-breaking pace, and the chain has set up as many as 22 stores in as little as 3 months. Like 7 East, another venture which is set up blistering pace is stem cell banking startup Reborn. The venture has been founded by Sunil Pokhale, who sold a stake in well-known beauty care company Femcare to Dabur. For Sunil, the fact that stem cell banking and beauty care had little in common was what attracted him to the space the most.
We were tired of doing the same thing, the same activity we did for 28 years. Okay, the challenges kept changing, but essentially the work remained the same. So obviously I'm not going to do anything in that space. So I had to get into some other activity, looking around for opportunities. This struck me as the best.
Another entrepreneur who's made waves in the healthcare space is Ajit Nagral, who founded and built New Genesis, an ERP solution to manage laboratory data. In 2006, he sold his startup to life sciences conglomerate Waters for $50 million. But while negotiating the deal, it wasn't only the financial value he was looking at, he was also ensuring that all his employees' long-term interests were protected.
It was the legacy that we wanted to create. And the company which was acquiring us basically had taken on our products, our people, and made it a brand within their own organization. I had about 200 people in the company, and about 150 of them are still there. And in hindsight, we look at it and we look back and say it was absolutely the right thing to do.
After exiting his company in the US, Nagral came back to India and launched Sciformics, a data analysis startup in a similar space. A common thread with all three ventures, 7 East, Relabs and Sciformics, is their rapid pace of growth. And the entrepreneurs put it down to both learning from their previous ventures and avoiding some of the mistakes which have let them down in the past.
Do not enter the market till your product is perfect. Do not dilute your resources. If you have limited resources, go for a limited reach. And then thirdly, keep in touch with your consumers at all times. R&D and consumers should never be far apart.
People make businesses. So I've been fortunate enough to sort of carry some of the people, the core teams that I had along the way in the businesses. Customers move with you. As a startup, there's a temptation to sign on a large marquee customer. But if the deal is not right, you should walk away from that deal. Because that one customer could be well-meaning, but can kill your business.
All Reborn entrepreneurs, though, haven't had the same success. None of Sabir Bhatia's ventures post-Hotmail have gained traction. So clearly a success story in one's previous venture doesn't guarantee success. One successful entrepreneur who subsequently turned investor is Anand Lunia, the CFO of the State Fund. In his view, Reborn entrepreneurs should safeguard themselves against certain pitfalls which could well be their undoing.
Does the guy carry a lot of baggage? Baggage can come due to success. Has he lost the hunger? Also, because of social pressure, especially in a country like India, does the risk-taking ability go down? In some cases, I also feel that in the second run, the entrepreneur becomes a little, I know it all, and closes his ears to the market.
Apart from these three, there have been numerous entrepreneurs who sold their ventures only to restart again. One who stands out for certain is R. Ramaraj, the co-founder of Sifi, which at the height of the dot-com boom was valued at $11.5 billion. He finally liquidated his personal stake on the Nasdaq when the firm's valuation was $650 million. For the serial entrepreneur from Chennai, though, mentoring and supporting other entrepreneurs has taken precedence over restarting again.
In 2006, I thought, give back. And I got associated with TAI. And I found TAI's principal philosophy was fostering entrepreneurship, giving back. And I thought that was something that actually struck a chord. And I felt that may be the way I should be spending time.
For all these Reborn entrepreneurs, one thing holds true. It's not really the money that motivates them.
What can you do with 100 crores that you can't do with 90 crores?
It's making meaning. Perhaps there was more than a hint of truth when Guy Kawasaki wrote those famous lines in his now bestseller book, The Art of the Start.
And with the number of exits in the startup world only increasing, you can be sure it's a trend that is on the rise. Let's take a quick break here on the show, but coming up. On Super Angels, get yourself a new hairdo, try on that new makeup, all virtually. 1,000 looks makes it fit to Super Angel Harshal Shah.